Well, some recent gift card scams have been circulating from various retail stores, and former OPP officer Nichelle Loss is sharing her experience, and she's been sounding the alarm on the issue. She's live in studio with us this morning for more on this. Nichelle, you know, the TikToks you've been putting out about this really kind of caught fire, and a lot of people, last-minute shopping, hey, you pick up a gift card, you quickly check it out, but there is a potential scam happening here. What's going on?
What's crazy is it went viral all for the great reasons, and I'm so happy it's getting out. But essentially, I brought it here today to show you so you can actually see and feel. This is the one that my second video went out, and there's an actual barcode sticker on top of that embossed one on the actual card. So what's happening is, you know, the scammers are placing those barcodes on top of the original ones, and if you go to the cash register and have it scanned, you're actually loading up a preloaded card that the scammer has somewhere else. And so you're walking out with an empty card, like an empty, essentially a dud. And, you know, that barcode that's been placed on top, let's say for this one was $100 that I picked up. So you would have been, I would have been loading $100 onto that fake card.
Absolutely.
So it's incredible. I found just 5 in the last 2 weeks at just different retail locations.
And so, Nichelle, the stores don't necessarily even know this, right? Because, I mean, if you're the scammer, you can go and you can sort of circulate, look at gift cards, maybe sort of add some of these on, and the stores have no idea. They're just ringing them through. The stores don't necessarily even know where the funds are going when they process the transaction, do they?
That's right. And I mean, some of the cashiers have been wonderful. So if, you know, you as a customer don't notice at the time and you do go up to the cash register, it does get scanned. If you have a cashier that's kind of on the ball, you know, they'll check the screen, they'll check the card, they'll check the last 4 digits, they'll check to make sure, like my cashier actually, you know, ran her finger over the top of it, and you can feel the small ridge because it's a raised sticker barcode. Visually, you can see it's a sticker. I mean, it's lifted now. You know, do your own kind of due diligence and check it and stuff. But if the cashier is also on the ball, she'll also notice. So it's just great to know, especially around the holidays, anytime, but especially now. I mean, I can't stand scammers, you know, taking advantage of innocent people, especially around the holidays.
Absolutely. And you know, like we said, you know, a lot of people are sort of out doing their sort of last-minute shopping and maybe grabbing a few of them. People are in a rush sometimes. If you do this and don't realize it at the time, is it too late? So in other words, your tips, you need to do it at the cashier, basically, at the register? Because
of the comments I've received, and there have been thousands, is so many people have gotten caught and not gotten their money back. It's, you know, unless they've purchased, let's say with a Visa card, maybe where you can, you know, fight the credit card companies, that kind of thing. So what I'm recommending is, you know, don't grab, you know, if you're going to do a gift card purchase still, you know, don't grab from the first one up, you know, grab from the back, because most of the time they'll be placed in that first slot. You know, do your actual visual check and then do your physical check by feeling, is there a raised barcode? If it's the one in the packages, is there any perforations on the side? Because that's also another thing, and they're, you know, slitting the side, taking the card out, putting the sticker on, putting it back in, and no one will ever notice. Because even when you buy gift cards, and I know this because I bought 2 yesterday, is you do get the receipt. It was actually behind the counter when I bought it, so it was kind of like it was already sort of, you know, I didn't feel the urge to check at that point. But you know, you keep the receipts always when you buy gift cards to make sure you can show that. But even if you take a receipt in with this gift card, it's still not, that's not going to be valid either, right? You can really get caught if you don't do the sort of preemptive testing. That's right. And I will say, check the screen when it gets scanned, you know, do both. If the sticker happens to be the same company that, you know, the real one is, you know, do that secondary check where check the numbers on the receipt or on the screen and do that extra check as well. I mean, it's embarrassing, you know, you have no idea, but you're given a gift and let's say it's empty. The person receiving it goes to use it after and they're embarrassed. Let's say you go out for, you know, dinner or something and you're presenting a gift card that you think it's going to be great and it shows up 0. You know, what are you going to say? Go back to the person who gave it to you and go, did you give me, you know? It's embarrassing in both and it's frustrating. So let me ask you this. I know you're not a police officer anymore, but you're a former police officer. What can police do after the fact at this point? I mean, do you have to catch someone in the act? How would this sort of There's a whole, you know, investigation has to, there's just so many steps, you know, finding out the suspect and, you know, are they part of a ring? Are they, you know, is there more people involved? Getting down, there's so much investigative steps, you know, looking at fraud, looking at theft, taking, you know, technically stealing the card, even though it's of no value at the time other than the plastic itself when you're walking out with them. So there's a whole bunch of different, charges that can be laid. But definitely, contact if you think you've been scammed, try to go back to the store where you did purchase. You may or may not get your money back. And at that point, you can take the extra steps from there.
All right, Nichelle Loss, thanks so much for joining us and
Thanks
talking
for
more
having
about
me.
this. I mean, I've seen this on TikTok. I've seen your videos. They're really instructive and helpful, and they could save
Thank you.
people, like you said, some embarrassment and also some potential sort of frustration
Oh, for
at the end of the
sure.
day. So great to
Yeah.
have you in here. Thanks
Yeah,
for this
thanks
so much.
for having me.